So we went to Vegas, and because it was his 21st birthday, you know, we had to do it up right. I told David and Nicole that, you know, we're gonna go on her surprise, and she's like, oh my God, what are we doing? They drove us out to the airport, and they flew us out about 45 minutes down the Grand Canyon and to Arizona actually at the time, and we landed down in the basin of the Grand Canyon in the helicopter. And it's, you know, the whole deal was supposed to be like you know, like dinner in the Grand Canyon, but it's more like snacks. They didn't really bring
I
dinner.
know.
It wasn't like a
carrots
dinner.
and celery with a sandwich.
Yeah,
and beer.
it was, you know, or champagne or something.
No,
or wine.
you had asked me what I wanted to drink, and I didn't know what it was for, and you said and I told you Bud Light Lime, remember? And they had that Bud Light Lime.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you remember that, but.
So anyways, we're out there, we're sitting down, we're talking, and then I got up and like we started walking out towards the, like where you really,
yeah, you can like walk around.
You were down in the Grand Canyon, but you were like on a plateau, so you could look down even further. So anyways, we're sitting there, and we walked out close to the edge and looking around and stuff, and that's where I proposed to her. Mm-hmm. She'll insert picture here of ring.
Of ring.
Right there. Maybe over here, I don't know where the picture is yet. Anyways, we flew back and we watched wild horses run around. It was a really cool event.
And it was the sunset helicopter.
Right, so it was during like dusk, and so we got to see the sunrise and sunset while we were, you know, coming back in the helicopter and stuff. Yeah. Anyways, then I got a migraine. It was killing me so bad. I didn't really want to go to the club, but I was trying to figure out a way to get up. And so her brother brought an IV bag, hit me up.
You just do that like a drug addict.
Yeah, because it felt like it. I got an IV bag and I felt like I was about to run up the walls. It was so weird.
And then he was fine after about, what, 30 minutes?
30 minutes of blood shooting out of my arm.
Yeah, David, the starter kit that he had didn't have a catheter on it. So when you put it in your arm, I don't know what it was, but it was, his blood was leaking out, and David didn't want to touch his blood. I'm like, you're gonna kill my boyfriend.
Husband. Fiance.
Oh, you're gonna kill my fiance.
Anyway, so
he did that, and he was fine, and we went to the club, and we actually got a table. So bottle service down at the bottom.
Yeah, so we had bottle service and a table, and I got our, you know, we were down on the main floor, and I got our names put up on the Digitron, and it's.
I have a video of that, and I'll put that in the video as well. You don't have to do that every time.
It's fun though. So that was kind of like the next milestone in our relationship, was getting engaged.
Yeah.
And had a good time on the trip. And
then after that, we went to Vegas like every single month for the rest of the year.
Yeah, we went a bunch.
But then we really started talking about how, like, this whole baby train thing, because, you know,
about 3 or 4 months later, we went to the doctor. Well, no, before that, actually, about a month later, we went to the doctor.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about the IVF stuff now. Now that we kind of got through our history of, like, meeting and kind of, like, hanging out with each other, you know?
High five.
Since I didn't have kids yet, and he had 3 girls, it was always a topic of conversation if he truly did want more kids. And at the time he was like
kids.
Yeah, at the time he was like, I don't really know if I want any more. He didn't really say that, but you know, he was, you know, his kids were kind of like already.
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did. You were like, you always told me that you didn't think you'd want any more kids until you met me.
Well, that's true.
Yes, he didn't say he said he didn't want any more kids until he met me, or even get married for that.
That's also true.
The reason why we have to do IVF is, for the first reason, is he had a vasectomy. Right after his youngest was born, so about 13 years ago. No, 12 years ago. Oh, yeah, 12 years ago. So, you know, when you look up like vasectomy reversals, that was one option we could have done. So we went to we went to a urologist, like a really popular urologist in the Houston area, and he said, yeah, we can do a reversal. You know, it's like $18,000. No.
It was a lot.
It's like $16,000.
It was too much.
And you know, we didn't want to do it right then. We just wanted answers before we, you know, really got involved, like married and stuff like that, because we wanted it to be figured out before, you know, our first year of marriage, because those are different milestones you do with each other.
Yeah. So at this point in time, it was probably around October after we'd just gotten engaged, and our wedding date was scheduled for May the next year. And so
I wanted him to have the reversal before we got married, because it takes several months for, especially since he had his vasectomy for such a long time, for it to like those tubes to reconnect and for everything to really get going. It takes several months for it to work, if it did work, because reversal is one of those things that you don't know if it worked or not until.
So we went ahead and did a reversal
in January
that year, the next year, and
2017.
It didn't work.
He had his first semen analysis in July, and we found out it didn't work. So I went ahead and made our very first IVF consult with a Aspire fertility clinic, and
which was terrible.
Yeah, we did not like them. Didn't seem like home now that we go to.
I mean, I'm sure they're good people and they'd probably do an okay job, but we didn't.
But for us, it's just a preference thing. So, so she said that, yeah, you know, our first consult was like, yeah, you can do IVF and this is what we'll do. So then we thought about it for a couple months and we kind of put it off because we wanted to like try, you know, he could take medicine, and so we tried vitamins and stuff to see if his reversal would work. In the meantime, while we tried to find money for IVF. Yeah, we got married.
So then we had the wedding, and all that went well. It was a nice wedding. It was close by.
I did a bunch of research in Houston.
Yeah. And we found a doctor we liked.
Yeah, I did a bunch of research. Which his name's Dr. Griffith, if anyone in the Houston area is thinking about seeking IVF. He, for us, is amazing.
Yeah, he's been a good guy.
So when you do IVF, you have countless, like, predetermination, like, you have so many tests that you have to do on yourself, like, or the doctor has to do on me before you can even do IVF. And same for him. We had to do genetic blood work. We had to do infectious disease blood work. I had to have all of these crazy ultrasounds before we could even start. So that took about a month, and then
we started my procedure at the end of March.
And his procedure was Tessie, T-E-S-E. The sperm from the direct source is way better. It has a higher chance of success that way. So we decided about 2 weeks after his surgery, we went ahead and did my stimming procedure, or my stimming medication. And
So that was like a little crazy because there was a lot of doctors' visits involved in that.
I'm healthy and I'm in my 20s. I didn't need a high dose of medication. The full 14 days I did stimming, which is a very, very long time. I had my egg retrieval April 20th, 4/20, and I was in a lot of pain by then. I was super uncomfortable. I waddled up to the surgery center. It was awful. I was throwing up the entire time. I was crying the whole, I couldn't sit up properly, and every time I'd move, it would just hurt. A plus side of us doing IVF is we got to see what the genders of our future kids would be. And at the end of it, we had 7 make it, which is good. And then we sent those 7 off for PGS testing.
And out of those 7, we had 3 boys and 4 girls. We had 1 boy that was not
abnormal.
Didn't have abnormal chromosomes, and we only had 3 girls. We had to start the prep,
and that in itself is a lot.
I don't like the shots.
He likes the shots. We got our transfer date, May 30th.
We have a little video that might pop up a little portion of it, and
we decided to do the boy.
Transfer was complete.
Yeah.
And then Jessie really put the Walgreens out of business because she bought
HEB. I did HEB. I did curbside because it was embarrassing how many pregnancy tests I bought.
Yes, she bought so many. She was taking like 2 to 3, maybe 4 a day.
You become a pee on a stick addict, let me tell you. That's what
it was out of control. Out of control.
3 days after the transfer, I took a test. And it was very, very, very faint. You can only see it in the negative effect, and I'll put the picture up as well. Every day, the line got darker and darker and darker.
Got excited, and of course, you know, her pregnancy tests were going off the charts. And we're trucking along through the process, and you know, we got to a point where we were super excited, and we were trying to pick names, and we were buying stuff for the baby.
But Ben, though, to say what you were saying about getting excited and stuff, whenever you see, you know, they check your, when you see a heartbeat, your chances of miscarriage is by 4%.